In a village bound by ancient traditions, Efia's forbidden love with Tunde defies fate. When a blood oath threatens their future, Efia faces an impossible choice between her past and her love. Witness a tale of sacrifice, heartbreak, and the mystical powers that bind them all. Will love conquer the spirit's demands? In the heart of an African village, nestled between ancient trees and vibrant wildlife, lived a young woman named Efia. Efia's story is one of love, struggle, and the haunting grip of past decisions. Efia was a vibrant soul, known for her kindness and resilience. Her life took a turn when she fell in love with a young man named Tunde. Their love blossomed under the watchful eyes of the village elders, and soon Tunde decided to introduce Efia to his mother, Mama Abeni. On a warm afternoon, Efia arrived at Tunde's home for the first time. Mama Abeni, a woman of tradition and strict values, greeted her with a task that would test her place in their family. "Efia, please prepare a pot of soup for dinner," she said, handing Efia a bag of ingredients. Efia, never having cooked before, stared at the bag in panic. "I have never cooked before. What should I do?" she thought as her heart raced. She began to empty the bag on the kitchen counter, overwhelmed by the task ahead. "Is this a test to see if I am good enough for Tunde?" she wondered, sweat trickling down her face. With trembling hands, she threw all the ingredients into the pot, including whole peppers and onions, and filled it with water. She prayed silently, hoping the soup would turn out well. She tried calling Tunde, but his line was unreachable. Desperate, Efia paced the kitchen, considering escape, but the doors and windows were locked. As the pot began to boil, Mama Abeni returned to check on the food. She lifted the lid and screamed in horror. "What is this?" she demanded. Efia, embarrassed, mumbled, "It's my special way of preparing soup." Mama Abeni's face turned red with anger. "Leave my kitchen this minute!" she yelled, and Efia fled the house in tears. Later, Tunde returned to find his mother fuming. "Is everything okay, Mother?" he asked. Mama Abeni led him to the kitchen, showing him the pot of soup. Tunde couldn't help but laugh at the sight of the uncut vegetables floating in the water. "Mama, why did you ask her to cook?" he asked, still chuckling. "I wanted to see if she was good enough for you," Mama Abeni replied. Tunde's laughter faded as he explained that Efia was an orphan who never learned to cook. "You can't marry her," Mama Abeni declared. Tunde, shocked by his mother's words, responded firmly, "Cooking skills don't define a person's worth or their capacity to be a good partner. Efia is a wonderful woman, and I love her for who she is." Mama Abeni was unmoved. "It's not just about cooking. How can you think of marrying an orphan? Do you know why her parents abandoned her? You can't marry someone with such a past," she insisted. Tunde, hurt by his mother's insensitivity, argued, "Why would you victimize her for something she had no control over?" But Mama Abeni was resolute. "You can't marry her, and that is final," she said, crossing her arms. Tunde left the house, anger and confusion battling within him. At Efia's home, Tunde found her crying. "I made a fool of myself," she said. Tunde hugged her tightly, assuring her that everything would be fine. "How will I ever face your mother again?" she asked, worried. "Don't worry about her. I'm the one marrying you, not her," Tunde replied. Efia felt a glimmer of hope. The next day, Tunde sought advice from his friend Cole. Parents can be too focused on traditions and status. If you love her, make your stand clear to your mother, but be respectful, Cole advised. Encouraged, Tunde decided to speak with his mother again. Mama, I understand your concerns, but Efia is part of my life now, and I love her deeply. Her being an orphan doesn't change her kindness, intelligence, or the challenges she has overcome, Tunde said. Mama Abeni, her intuition tingling, replied, "Something is just not right. I have a bad feeling about her." Tunde pleaded with her, "Please give her a chance. She's a good person." But Mama Abeni was adamant. "No, I will not let it happen," she said. Frustrated, Tunde threatened, "If you don't allow me to marry Efia, I'll leave and never return." His mother, shocked, asked, "What do you mean?" Tunde, eyes filled with determination, replied, "It's either you accept her or you lose me forever." With that, he walked out. Mama Abeni, realising the seriousness of her son's threat, decided to visit Efia. That evening she arrived at Efia's home. "Good evening, Mama," Efia greeted nervously. Mama Abeni didn't mince words. "Leave my son alone. If you love him, you'll find another man to marry." Efia, tears streaming down her face, asked, "Why do you hate me so much? What have I done?" Mama Abeni responded, "I'm protecting my son from an unknown fate. Leave him alone." Heartbroken, Efia fell to the ground, unable to comprehend why her life was so complicated. When Tunde arrived, he found her in tears. "What's wrong?" he asked, holding her close. "Your mother came here," she sobbed. Tunde, anger boiling within, decided to confront his mother once more. The next day, Tunde visited his mother again. "Mama, I love Efia, and I'm not willing to marry anyone else," he said firmly. But Mama Abeni was unwavering. "This marriage will only happen over my dead body," she declared. Despite his mother's opposition, Tunde and Efia proceeded with their wedding plans. Mama Abeni, true to her word, made no contributions and stayed away from the preparations. Tunde, though heartbroken, pressed on, determined to prove his love for Efia. The night before the wedding, Tunde had a terrible nightmare and woke up screaming. His friend Cole, hearing the commotion, rushed to his side and found him unconscious. They hurried to the hospital, but doctors found nothing wrong with him. In desperation, Cole called Mama Abeni and Efia, who rushed to the hospital. "What happened?" Efia asked, her heart pounding. "I found him unconscious," Cole explained. Hours passed with no change in Tunde's condition. Then, Cole received a call from Mama Abeni, instructing them to bring Tunde to an old, abandoned house. There, they met a man performing rituals. As Tunde's body convulsed, the healer pointed at Efia. "What have you done?" he demanded. Efia, trembling, confessed. "Years ago, I took a blood oath with a boy I loved, promising to stay together forever. But when he had an accident and became paralysed, I couldn't bear it. I faked my death to escape." The healer revealed that the spirits were demanding a life as compensation for the broken oath. Terrified, Efia pleaded, "We brought a goat for sacrifice. Please accept it instead." But the healer shook his head. "The spirits demand more," he said. "There is only one way to save Tunde. You must fulfill your promise and marry the man from your past." Efia, torn between saving Tunde and honouring her past oath, felt her world collapsing. "I can't marry you," she told her former lover. "My heart belongs to Tunde." The spirits, angered by her refusal, demanded all her memories with Tunde as the price for his life. With a heavy heart, Efia agreed. The healer performed the ritual, and slowly, Tunde began to wake up. Efia, now a stranger to Tunde, left the village, her memories of their love erased. Tunde, confused but alive, returned home, never understanding the sacrifice Efia made for him. Thus, In the quiet village, the tale of Efia and Tunde became a whispered legend, a story of love, sacrifice, and the unseen struggles that bind us all. Thank you for joining Jum's journey and experiencing the power of acceptance and resilience with us. If you found her story inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more captivating tales ahead. Until next time, farewell.